and I'll sit to the edge to see my room below. And on another ledge, good for evil, and good for you to know. I leave home before we sleep tonight. With the minds to go. I wanna see instead of come down. We won't stop till somebody is burned. We're on another version for evil. Okay. Oh, I forgot to turn off the microphone, so I just turned it off now. And I just turned it back on now. Welcome to part two for today. In an unusual, of course, because I took Wednesday off, and so Saturday I'm working on my stuff. Now, the thing that I have to do today is I have to. Okay, that's the old thing there. Honestly, might should have another thing on top of here and make that a separate deal. This is our apprentice is missing. Princess prep. What's the one that happens before it? A few answers. Okay. And then here is, what's the last thing? The store is open. Hmm. I don't know. I might need to put an extra page there. I'm not sure. Okay, so basically, what we have here is, now this isn't gonna go. So it's actually just these ones. Now there are 19. I need to cut out at least 4 or 5 of these, and I also need to do it in such a way that um, that you can hit all the required information still. Um, hold on. I asked ChatGPT. Okay, it's 2:19. So over an hour later now. I've thought it a thought over a bit. Um, what is that base? That's not really base though. That's um the solution might not facilitate much reduction in pages, but you simply uh, actually, the more I think about it, um, the more it sort of stays the same. So uh, the goal here is to make sure you can do each thing, um, but that you do all the things, so it can be out of order, which is sort of the way I have it. Yet the desk, the filing cabinet, and the plants, and if you hit one of the others, you do what's left. So in the end, you get all pages visited. So in a sense, it doesn't solve my problem. However, if I combine the, see, it doesn't solve my problem. I guess this little explanation doesn't really help much. So I gotta think through it some more. But it's I kind of was spinning my wheels there for a second. Yeah. Huh. Well, if I could combine info, I could do it like that. That is, you learn about male and female voices and very college through searching the office. And if you let the head mistress out, she can tell you everything. Everything. Huh. Think for a moment. Hmm. Actually, I might just I might have just solved my problem by introducing something extra. Um, I have these pages already existing, and really I would have to show them to you, which I don't have a problem doing. It's just there are several pages. Um, but I've just thought of another possible solution. The um one of the plants was enchanted in order to trap the head mistress. Why not both of them, just in case someone tries to get into the office, so the other non-active plant actually uh, grabs onto John's leg. then I can release her the way I already have it. Oh, stop using GPT free. Use 5.2 with thinking mode. Around 20 euros by month. But yeah, John Phillips. Uh, sorry I didn't see you there, but and thanks for joining. Yeah, I don't have of course I'm in the US, but I don't have $20 a month, 20 euros, whatever. I don't have that money, so I have to keep using free. And for what I'm doing, it's kind of works okay. I mean, I'm not like solving, world hunger or something, So it's not really complicated. I'm using the AI more as a sounding board, so and I switch between AIs sometimes, and I try not to actually take ideas directly, but I just use it to get some ideas flowing because I don't have people to uh, I don't have people to chat with, at least right now. If anybody ever, if people start ever getting interested in this, and I get more people watching the stream, then maybe I'll be chatting with everybody else. But anyways, but yeah, thanks for coming in here. Um, see something here. Where's the? No, that's okay. That's still showing up. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Anyways, yeah, I don't have enough money to pay for a service basically. So let's see. Already have it. Um, let's see. I can also have John get the information about the two characters and the itinerary. Um, well, actually, yeah. From the filing cabinet afterwards, it will shorten significantly, okay, shorten the amount of pages. Having the second plate grab John's leg, you essentially force the player to go through the release the headmistress scene anyway, but you're removing the need for two entirely separate pages showing the same info in different orders. You get all the players' interactions condensed into one location with still the illusion of choice, but you reduce redundancy, plus it keeps the story consistent. Yeah. And I give a little extra agency because you can release the headmistress by taking some pruning shears nearby and getting ready to prune it. Or you can start taking off the flowers, which will eventually release her. So I still get that little decision point area. Okay. Anyways, I gotta use any of the free stuff right now, just because I don't have any money. So, any branding without uploading the page content. Okay, so now that I came up with that, I will figure out how to uh, so this page has got to be completely different. Looks like a tornado. Uh, let's see. Let's pull this up and let's see what in this case you want me checking out. Okay. I might be just deleting all these. I mean, I did this work to get this in the right format, but I might end up just like deleting these pages here. Um, Let me think for a moment. Um, okay, desk, plants. Okay, so the first thing is going to be the plants. So it's going to be number 2. That's this one. Uh, Hit 1 to examine the other plant. Hit 2. The voice tells them check the other plant for some pruning shears or start plucking flowers off. Uh, okay, and then you have you have the 2 deals here. Okay, and then the same thing here. And then it goes to this. And then it goes to the filing cabinet. Uh, Examines the filing cabinet. Okay. Quite a few less pages to go through. Yeah, actually, it might even chop it a little too much because let me think for a second. I gotta think. Hmm. Um, there's also a little issue concerning number of pages, and I think there's like 19 of them, right? 19. Yeah, 4, and then that's 9. Wait a minute. That's 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, 19. There's 19 there, right? I have 19 pages currently. I need it cut down to 15 or less, preferably 10. If I do what I just said above, that effectively cuts it down to like 4 or 5. I want it to feel balanced, so have a little more thinking to do. Maybe. Um, sure, you can do that. I'll take a quick look. Well, I guess I'll let it do it and just to see what it comes up with because maybe it'll spark something. Clear spot shears or other. Try removing flower. Take shears or try removing flowers by hand. It's branching. Hmm. Pages 2 to 4 are micro branching can stay within a single unit, giving it more agency. 7 to 9 are optional filler. Maybe. No thanks. I'll think a bit more. Yeah. Okay. Mm. Hmm. I guess my main thing is there a way I can extend this because once she's freed, then you can go to you don't need the desk because she'll tell you. You also can go over to um the filing cabinet and I mean that puts us squarely at about see how I did this before. Chapter. So let's see how many pages this is total. This is 10 selected, or that's 11 selected, 10 selected, or 9. If you, right? What did I do here? Enrollment tent, junk nice badge, take the fake badge. Then what does it do? It comes back here. I might be able to copy a pattern like that, maybe. Why don't I just set it up like I have here? I can still reduce the number of pages. I'll just set it up like I have here. So basically, these, in fact, they can, the choices can go to the same pages, actually. Well, if I'm going downward in the layout, I may not be able to do that, but I mean, I can figure that out probably. Um, You go in there. I don't need the plant to grab you then that ways. Hmm. It still have duplicate pages, right? Yeah, duplicate pages. This is the desk. This is the filing cabinet. And so in essence, I can kind of combine those. Actually, why don't I start doing the combination thing too, instead of add a whole cloth, and that way, okay. And then this is the itinerary. This is the itinerary. The filing cabinet. Then the plants. Then the filing cabinet. Plants first, then itinerary, then filing cabinet. Uh, Itinerary first, then the plants, then the filing cabinet. That's not a bad idea. Let me think of this further. I can probably cut this section out. And I can also make the combination page. Maybe that's what I'll start doing. I think I'll do it that ways. Because what it means is I can just start like pruning things away, and I might not even have to have this whole other side over here. It'll be just these. Of course, it'll be like one less. So let's let's see what would happen if I just leave it to these ones. And how many that does? 9 or 10? 11. That's perfectly acceptable. That's not a bad idea. Oh, no, it'd be 10 because I'm reducing one. I'm actually reducing pacing one. Okay, we're gonna try that. We're gonna try that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take everything from here, select all, copy. All right, and we're gonna go back over to here. We're gonna pull this up. We are going to. I'm actually gonna paste it right after. Okay. And we're going to say, John noticed the desk drawer is open. He sees a paper. Uh, and honestly, would he... Okay. We'll still let the desk, I guess, because it's the text I already have here. It doesn't really matter if she tells him or if he finds out there. Um, so let's do something here. One to continue. John then goes over and examines the filing cabinet. Okay. That seems to, I keep forgetting. Okay, and we're going to control save that. And so this is what we're going to do here. We are going to Okay, let me think for a second because this is the one I'm actually removing. This guy. Here, let's pop this down there. Let's put this down here. Okay. Then these. Okay, so this one is this one, right? And if I'll have to change that, probably have to change that, but I'll worry about changing everything in just a second here. So that spelling is wrong. That spelling's atrocious. Okay, so we're gonna go in here and we're gonna modify the door to be. Oh, come on. I just want to go back. Anya. This. Control V. P5, the itinerary. Then we're going to do the same thing here. Copy. Over here. Door. Paste. No. No. Reload saved scene. Reload saved scene. Okay. Um, what we're doing is we're collapsing the itinerary and the. Yeah. Yeah. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay. So I combine these two, like I said, but this is going to go all the way down here. That's where that's going to go. These two are actually going to go all the way down here as well. And then we're going to remove this. So that way, those are the two lines. Okay. So I just got kind of mixed up here, but we're going to try, we'll do this again. John heads over to the filing cabinet to examine it. Okay, we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna take this here. Control. Well, we'll take that all that. Control C. We'll go ahead and do that. Go back over here. Pull this up. We'll let's see here. This door's open. This Control V. He then heads over to the filing cabinet to examine it. Okay. So that is fine. That's actually fine. And what it is here is that this here, copy. Okay, I might put one in between there, maybe. I don't, I haven't decided yet. But we're gonna go to the door. Okay. And we're going to we're just gonna be like that. Okay. And copy this, copy. We'll do that to these ones here. So door, paste, and we'll do that here too. Paste. Okay, and all we're going to do here is we're going to say, we're going to say room data now. See how that goes? Now this one we can actually remove now because nothing goes to it. Let's go ahead and remove that and control save room data, clear that, reload, save scene, clear that again. There's a thing about some hanging deal, like it's trying to access a room that is no longer there. I had some stuff to work on that or to fix that, and anywho, so now this here is John notices the disk drawer is open. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy this, copy, and then over here we are going to oh yeah, I guess I gotta modify that because um yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put this up here. I'm going to here. Actually, let me open this up here. Uh, B. Hit 1 to continue. Itinerary. I actually spelled itinerary there properly. I just didn't do it when I named the pages. So that's kind of ridiculous. But amazing workflow in Redot. Yeah. If you're what you're referring to here, uh let me hold on just a second here. Okay, so this is this. So you go over here and um let's see something here. Right, like that. Then I hit OK. And what are we doing on lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's good. That's actually good. Hit OK. So now we're doing the plant examining. So this is what we got. We got this. We got these three. Here we got these three, and then that, and that's a way to cover doing both of them. Now, if I count, it should be enough. That means I should be able to delete that whole other side, and then of course I have to match the thing up to. So 8. It's a little less than I wanted, but it's within the pale here. And this is looks like a tornado, and this is our princess is missing, so you can count that as 9. So that's kind of okay. I can deal with that. In fact, I might have another page here, like I said, like a transition page, like an ending page, which is some I might should even have above. Um, or technically, you could look at it as an ending page for both of John's deals, rather than the segments. Could do that ways. So what this means here is check out the desk, check out the plants. Okay. Right. And when if you want to check out the desk and the filing cabinet. Hit 2 if you want to check out the plants. And then 3 is gone. And then that way I do that with the doors. I actually do this. Like that. And I save it, and then I save room data. Right? And it removes these. Now, all I have to do here is start removing these. Like so. So. I needed to actually update the lines whenever I do this too, but I haven't really been messing around with that. Okay, and let's go ahead and save room data. Save room data. And reload save scene. And reload it again. So now everything's updated properly. So when you look at it, right, it actually works quite well, honestly. And what I can also do here is I can move these out over here, and I can move these up kind of semi-close. Here, and let's make sure that we're down at the right level. And actually, let's go ahead and take these and move these out just a little. Is that? Well, no, 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 no. Move these out just a little bit. Okay. As far as the workflow goes, okay, so this is the editor, okay, and everything that's in here is in here, but I'm doing it by code. In other words, none of this shows up. How do I say it? I'm not doing it by scene. I have all my scenes in JSON files. Okay, let's go to the where's the dang room? Okay, fine. We'll go up. We'll go back to the rooms here. All of these are JSON files, and so it loads it up at the beginning. So basically, what it does is it creates. Now think Godot. This is 4.3. This is readout 4.3, and which is a fork of Godot 4.3. In fact, they're at 4.4 stable right now, so I should look into getting that here pretty soon. But I'm just working on this, so I'm not that interested in messing around with stuff. But so so I have the code load up. I have it create these panels. These are panels, which is a type of, I think it's a canvas item. I forget. It's an object, anyways. Uh, Here, I should say it right here somewhere. Type. Oh, layout room. And that's because of my layout room class. So let's go to script real quick. And let's go to layout room. Okay, and so this code right here, that's the thing to create the doors, but where's it at? Uh, where's it at? Setup visuals. So setup visuals sets up a panel, sets up all the UI stuff basically, so that this can be visible. And these are tool scripts, so that way I can update this in the editor. So the workflow is something I created by using the tool scripts. Yeah, it's cool because it's a Godot, it's a GD script thing where you can run scripts while in the editor. And I didn't put the pages here. I'm not putting them in as manual scenes. Like I didn't create a scene and then save it and add it to the thing because I had like 93 originally, and I still have several of these pages, and it made it quicker and easier to transfer the when I wrote down the events that's supposed to go on each page, I had a script that changed them into JSON files to load up. So none of this stuff is like built in. It's just kind of stuff that I wrote, or really in reality, a lot of the code Grok and ChatGPT helped me write. So, anywho, anyways, and so forth and so on. Now this wouldn't be continue. Hit 1 to continue. So this is okay. So let me try something here. Let's just save everything. Clear that out. Let's run this, and I'll go to the particular here. Let's copy this. This is the ID of the room, and let's just go ahead and run it. And then there's just a little dealy switch room. I might plan to have more stuff in it, like a proper like console or something. But right now it's just something that allows me to switch rooms real quick, so I don't have to go through like the whole thing to get to the room I want. Okay, our princess is missing. When John arrives at Princess Prep's front doors, he knocks loudly, and hearing no response, then he attempts to open the doors. Something seems to be stopping the door from opening, and maybe either barred or locked, so he goes around to the back. He sees a boarded up picture window, and after examining, grabs a loose nail. Looking off in the distance, he sees a shed, heads over, and notices it has a padlock. He uses the nail in the padlock to open the shed, finds a pry bar inside, then he grabs it. John then goes back to the front door to see if he can use the pry bar on it, but it doesn't move. He goes back to the window and uses the pry bar to pull off the boards, and then examines the window again. There's a latch preventing the window from opening, and he takes the pry bar and forces the window open and goes inside. Once through, he faces a basic office that has a couple plants to his left and right, and one of the plants seems to be shuddering of its own accord. He'll want to continue. Now, there's a lot of events going on. There's a lot of things going on in here because originally my old version had this as separate deals. One of the deals you do is you could go examine. You could examine the window, the boarded up window, to get the nail, or you could go over to the shed. If you went over to the shed, you notice that the padlock was locked, and then you went back to the window, and then you examined the window, and you got the loose nail. Then you went and unlocked the padlock, and then you went and got the pry bar, and then came in. And then I gave you the option of going back to the front door, because naturally somebody would go to the front door if they could do so to try the pry bar on the front door. So then after you couldn't get in there, you went back to the window, and then you used the pry bar on the boards. You took off the boards, and then you have a latch there, and you can't get into it. So I gave 3 ways. One was like jimmying the latch, I think, with the loose nail. The other one was using the pry bar just to kind of pry it open. And then the third one was actually taking like a loose brick or stone and smashing the window. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on there, but I need to shrink this down. See, phase 1 was taking so much time, and I wasn't getting very far. And I wanted it to go quicker. In fact, this is supposed to be short and fairly quick, this first phase. So I was supposed to get that done in a couple of months, and didn't turn out that way. So now I'm redoing phase 1. And so I find that I have to combine some stuff together. So all of this stuff was originally like a puzzle, and eventually in the end, when the later phases, when I actually have puzzles in there, it will actually be a proper puzzle, and I'll probably put it back in. Okay, so that's why all this stuff happens in this page. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think I was limited to 25 lines. So nothing more than 25 lines, so I'd have room to add those extra choices down below. Nothing seems to be, there doesn't seem to be a problem with that right now. Okay, so our princess is missing, right? filing cabinet to John's left is open. Files and papers are strewn about. The desk chair is turned upside down. The desk itself is open. The plant to his right seems to be shaken. In fact, it seems to have something inside of it. Hit 1 if you want to check out the desk and the filing cabinet. Hit 2 if you want John to check out the plants. Okay, so if I do okay, so we're gonna do that. John knows the desk door is open. He sees a paper which starts off with the Princess Karen Elspeth of Verdon's itinerary and then lists off some activities, the first being checking into the Grand Enchanted Landing Hotel, which John notes for later. Then he heads over to the filing cabinet and examines it. He notices Princess Karen's file folder sitting on top of the other folders, but there's nothing inside. He goes through the rest of the cabinet. He sees 2 files that were pulled up, but apparently not looked through. The name Violet Moonshadow is on one, and Scarlet Red Clover is on the other. John decides to take them. John hears what sounds like a muffled speech coming from the active plant, and he turns around to where that plant is now on his left. So he gets in, and so on his right, as he's facing in, he's facing the door, going out into the hallway. The plant that's moving is on his right, and the inactive plant is on his left. And so then he goes over to the filing cabinet, which is on the right side. I don't know if I listed that here, but okay, so the desk is in front of him. He goes to the desk, he looks at it, then he goes over to the right to the filing cabinet, and then he finds those. Then he spins around, and now the active plant's on his left, and the inert plant is on his right. Okay. So now I hit 1 here. Okay. As John gets close to the shaking plant, he realizes the muffled sounds are actually someone trying to communicate. The voice tells him to either check the other plant for some pruning shears or start plucking flowers off. We're going to hit 1 to examine the other plant. John heads over to the completely still plant and grabs the pruning shears that is sitting inside the pot. He then starts to prune the other plant when it releases its captive, middle-aged woman who confirms she is the headmistress. When she's able to talk, she tells him that male and female voice entered the room and ransacked the office. The male and female needed to get back to Fairy God College if she's going to train an army of witches. Okay, so hit 1 to search the filing cabinet. And maybe 1 to continue, but it's the same effect. Okay. Okay, so presumably now let's do this again. I should have it be able to come up with the same command that you had in last, or a new command or something. I'm not sure. Have it be selected or something. Anyways, let's go back to here. Let's go to 1. So the filing cabinet. Okay, let's do the plants here. John gets close to the shaking plant, realizes the muffled sounds are actually someone trying to communicate. The voice tells him to either check the other plant for pruning shears or start plucking flowers off. We'll start plucking flowers off. We'll just do that. Heads over to the plant where the voice is coming from, starts plucking off flowers, eventually releases captive. Middle-aged woman confirms she's head mistress. Able to talk, she tells a male and female voice into the room, ransack the office, Fairy God College, etc. Hit 1 to continue. And it says to continue to the desk. Okay, so that is correct. He's going to continue to... What do I have? Hold on a second. Always says I'm streaming but never post a link. That's because I post links all the time. Here, I'll reply to him. Here, in fact, what I'll do is let me bring up. Is it in recent? No. Let's go into favorites. Favorites. Stream text 2. I could get it from other places. Okay. Where? Oh, down there. Okay. That's because until like this last week, I was posting every single weekday in several Discords, including including self promo here, and the link is always the same. So you can probably find a previous post and self promo. So now, I keep it to probably once a week. But here is the actual link. And honestly, I'm almost done. So yeah. I mean, I guess when I'm streaming, I should go ahead and just post the link in there directly and just say I'm streaming now, and I don't have to post all the other stuff maybe. But I mean, I'll see. Uh, wait. Where is? Hold on, I'm streaming. Okay. All right, let's go back to that discussion. Okay. Okay, cancel. You can leave the embed in there. That's fine. Uh, but here's the actual link. Okay, so alrighty. Apologies. Let's see where. There's Rumble. Rumble. We got 2 people on Rumble. That's cool. Okay. So now back to Mick. I don't know how to pronounce your name. The text is tiny on my secondary monitor here because I got the window shrunk down because I have to open both the YouTube and the Rumble windows because Restream chat is not working right on Rumble for some reason. I'm here. Mickenhill. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Mickenhill Games. So apologies for not pronouncing it correctly, but cool. Welcome. So unfortunately, I have only about 15 minutes before I have to go. This is part 2 because earlier today, Mike and Hill. Okay, Mike and Hill games, right? Is that I'm saying it right? Because that's the way you spelled it. Mike and Hill. Okay, cool. So yeah. Okay, so here's the deal, right? I stream almost every weekday unless there's something like doctor's appointments or whatever, and I'm not able to do it. And this Wednesday I had to take off because I was doing something, and so I'm on today. I'm not normally on Saturdays or Sundays. I always stream on the weekday, but I've been spamming my links so much, my stuff so much that I'm thinking people kind of getting tired of it, and it's not really getting me that many new people. So what I tend to do is I'll do it once at the beginning, like on a Monday. Is I'll post all the discords. I'll post to the 3 different X communities and to my timeline on X, and then in a couple of places on IRC. And so I'll do that only like about once a week because the link stays the same. It's just my link tree that goes to either or. So, anywho, thanks for joining, and I will here. Let's just go ahead and close that. Let me continue with what I was doing here real quick because I do still have about 10 minutes now. But we'll see. So, anyways, thanks for coming in here and popping in here. So I do 2 streams a day, weekday per weekday. Before I was doing like one long stream, like 3 to 4 hours, and sometimes I'd have a break in between, and sometimes I'd like to stay longer than the break, and so I have this big screen that says, please wait or whatever, or on break or whatever. And so I decided to split it up into two approximately 90-minute streams labeled part 1 and part 2, And so I'm labeling these like episodes, like this is episode 220 of my stream. And yes, I've done 220 streams. If you're not counting the double streams, it's 220 days total that I've streamed uh, game development. And it's 11:30 to 1 o'clock Eastern U.S. time. Okay, so that's 11:30. That's about what is that? 6 in the UK? No, no, no. 5. So 5 hours. So so in the UK it'd be about 4:30 p.m. And in like India it's like 9.5 hours, I think. So 11:30, that'd be 9 hours. So it'd be like 9 p.m. in India. I don't know where you're calling from, but or calling from is because I used to, I'm old enough to have used a modem over the phone lines back in the day. But wherever you're located, so maybe you can extrapolate from there. Unless you're in the U.S. or Canada, which it should be pretty easy, or Mexico, should be pretty easy to extrapolate the time. Okay, let me get back to this here real quick before I run out of time here. Um, okay, so John knows the desk door is open, sees a paper which starts off as Princess Karen Elspeth of Verdant's itinerary, lists off some activities for being granted. Okay, then he heads over to the filing cabinet, blah blah blah. Hit 1 to continue. Okay, and then now we're on a new thing. So it looks like everything is working fine. Okay, if I I don't know if I'd be able to explain everything that I've been doing. So I have my old version. In fact, I can actually start that up here. I'm using, of course, I'm using Redot here, but Redot, Godot, however you want to pronounce it. I call it Redot. I used to call it Godot, because that's just, I don't know, that's the way I think it thought it should be. And everybody's like, no, it's Godot, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, fine. So I started calling it that. When this came around, I was like, Redot. I'm not gonna call it Godot. You can call it Godot if you want to, I guess. Okay. Anyways, let's bring up the older projects. Okay, so the older project here. This is the original, and let me zoom out here. If you notice here, these down here represent about 80% of the whole narrative. Okay, and then this represents only about almost 20% here. So it's just taking so long, and so these here concern what I'm working on in my restart, my current version, this one. So I pared all these down to this many because the way I divided these up into chapters. So okay, so let me go back, and it was taking so long, and so I went back to my original 93 pages, and then I pared them down to about 20 pages, and then I created the room deals here of these 20 pages, and then I labeled them as chapters. And so this is chapter 3, where Hubert, our wizard, resident wizard here, Hubert, and John, the guy he brought in from our realm to help him figure out what's going on. I could go on the whole history about what the game's about and stuff, but just I'm just trying to give you like a brief deal of what I'm doing right now. So I have there's 4 different schools or 4 different areas that both of them go to 2 different areas, and they're 20 something pages or whatever. I'm trying to pare it down so that chapter 3 isn't so huge, and that's what I just did just now. And I still have to let's see here. Hit 1 to continue. This one should have said hit 1 to continue, I think. To continue. Oop. Continue. Um, and I think I'm going to add a new room in here. Let's see something here. Let's go ahead and add let's go ahead and add a deal here. Let me go into rooms. Okay, T3, and yeah, if you come more often, I'll explain the whole thing later. Like when I have more time, like Monday, I'll be back on Monday. But these just stand for T3 stands for title. It's sort of like a subtitle. Like if you're had a section, you had a chapter in a book and it had subsections, you know, and it has a thing on it. It'd be sort of like that, basically. And then these are all the individual pages here. So, um, so P15. She loves me not. Okay. The reason that these is like 0 through 4 and then 5 and then 12 through 15 is because I had reduced the original number of pages and they were in sequential order, and they're not in any particular order. They're just I just named them in page order because I want them all to kind of line up under each other. In other words, I want them to be in a certain order. So the chapters, these lists in if you're listing by name, it lists the chapters in order. This is actually the chapter page here. If it has a C and a hyphen, down here, these are the titles, and then these are the pages, and then a hyphen, and then a name. So anyway, so the last okay, that's 20. Our princess is missing. There we go. This is the one here. So 15. So if I want next one in a sequence, I'm gonna have to call it here. Let's do this actually. Control C, and I'll use that here. So let's just go through a process of adding a room, which I need to back out here because it adds a room down here. Oh, I thought. Oh, can I Control Z? Uh-oh. You know what I think it did? I think it reverted my last change. Let's see something here. Yeah, that is what happened. Uh, one, two, continue. Okay. And I'll need to save that in a second, but let's just delete that one. And let's bump this up over here. We're going to put this over here. And let's see something here. Let's go ahead and call this. We're going to do this. I call the new location. This is going to be 16. And I'm going to call this one I just wanted a status page. I wanted an extra page in there that sort of is sort of like a status deal here. Let me think. Because all that happens is it gets this information and then it goes back to Scarborough for a chicken, and so there's nothing there to do. Um, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Return to Scarborough there chicken. Okay, we'll just call it that. And we'll say the title is Return to Scarborough Fair Chicken. Okay, and then chapter is going to be Chapter 3 on back to school. Okay, like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna copy this, copy, and actually let's not do it that way. Let's go ahead and go over here. Let's copy this, copy. Let's go into here. Let's add the door. Hit paste. Okay, that's good. And then let's go ahead and copy the ID. Copy and put this one. We'll hit the door here, and we'll hit paste. Nope. Keep forgetting. We'll hit Control V. Okay, and then shift home. That, and then we'll go ahead and do the same thing in here. Oop. And in here too. And so forth. Control V. Everything is good. Good, good, good. 4 watching, 2 watching in Rumble. It's kind of too bad, you know. Like right now, I'm supposed to be done, but I'm gonna do these last couple things to make sure everything is what it's supposed to be before I continue. Anyways, this is the way it always goes to. Right when I'm about ready to either break or be done, then people start coming in and showing up. Of course, part of that might be just because the fact that like you I hadn't posted the link in there all week except for on Monday. Okay, so we're gonna save that. We're gonna save room data like that, and that seems to work. And then now I have to come up with some text in here because in a sense this is almost a superfluous. Like I don't need it, but I kind of wanted to kind of split it up. It's sort of like visually kind of. So hit one. Hit one to continue, I guess. I have a lot of that in here. With the information, John sneaks back through the window. Honestly, the headmistress could go with him, but I don't have anything for that just now. So maybe later if I think about it. I get out. Well, okay. So let's open up my here. Uh, after freeing the headmistress of Princess Prep, she could go with John back to Scarborough Fair. I used to have the E on the end as a kind of a stylized deal, but I also have okay, so if you don't know, this is this is a story about a Magic Kingdom that got turned into a tourist resort that's fallen on hard times. So everything's closed. The night school is now training using real weapons, and dragons are terrorizing villages, and there's people are disappearing, and there's all kinds of pandemonium going on. Whereas it used to be a nice vacation. You maybe go for a day for a weekend. You can become a knight or to slay a dragon, or you could be a princess or a fairy godmother or a wizard. Those are the four things that you do in Enchanted Lands. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. and so this is set up like a theme park, sort of. So you have one strip that has all your hotels and your restaurants and your shops, right? Stores, basically. Or, you could say inns, taverns, and uh, the oldie shoppy, I don't know, merchants or some mercantiles or something. And I had two names for it. One was is a nod to Harry Potter because it's gonna have a ton of in jokes when I'm done. But so it has two names. One is called the Renaissance Fair, which is kind of an ironic name because it's a medieval style kingdom. It's not necessarily medieval times, but it's medieval style kingdom. Uh, and the ship is called the Renaissance Fair. I put an E on the end of that as a stylized deal, as because that's its name, the Renaissance Fair. But it's ironic that it's a medieval style kingdom with a Renaissance fair in it, so to speak. It's not a Renaissance fair in the sense of being a festival of medieval times like we have nowadays. So I thought that would be funny. That's a like a more subtler humor that a lot of people might not even pick up. Maybe it's a little bit of irony, and then the other one's called Orthogon Alley, and you should kind of get the Harry Potter hint reference or whatever. It's just a little little joke, you know. So anyways, and Scarborough Fried Chicken is like the only like restaurant that's open on the whole strip at the fair. With the information, John sees back through the window and heads toward Scarborough Fair. Fair. Good. And I don't know if I won't end up like removing this at some point or something. But I'm just gonna leave this like this for now. Just because, like I said, I want a kind of an end buffer thing here. So, so that's good. That means that this section is done, and the next section is going to be Hubert examining um, Wizard U, and that's going to be the next thing I tackle, and that'll be on Monday, I guess. So that's good. So we got part. So we're still getting, still. It's almost to me. It's almost too linear, but that's only partly because why is John becomes a knight, approaches the entrance. Okay, so this he actually has to get past the guards, and then this is just the start here. Okay. Anyways, this part is probably going to be fairly linear though, because I'm still trying to keep the number of pages down. Like up here is there's there's 20 of them or whatever. And if I hadn't pared these down, that would make this chapter about like 80 pages or more. Whereas now it's only going to be about 40 pages approximately. So even though it's still going to be bigger than anything else, it's kind of what it is, anyways. And I'm doing these in phases, like sort of like iterations. So this is kind of like a choose your own adventure, although it's not a full choose your own adventure game because there's no dead ends and there's no right and wrong ending or whatever. It's just a one thing, and then each chapter you have your interesting decision points. You have your thing within each chapter, and as I go on the phases, I'm going to expand the story out. I'm going to expand the features, and eventually you'll have locations that have save states, so you can revisit the same location twice. You can go different places that won't have multiple pages, and eventually it'll have inventory. It'll have puzzles. It'll have a text parser at one point. And then I'll start adding new graphics and sound, and it's going to take a while to finish this, but I have a good start here now. It looks like. Okay, so that's gonna about do it for today. Sorry, those of you that came in late. Uh, I that's just kind of the way things go, it seems. And also, I guess it also depends on like if you have work or school, what day it is, you know. So it's all good. Anyways, I'm on every weekday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern U.S. time. Like I said, 4:30 UK time, and it's gonna be what did I say? It's gonna be 9 o'clock in India. And the reason I say India in particular is because I had 3 or 4 people from India come into the channel and come into the streams and actually talk to me. I thought it was kind of interesting, so I include that as a deal, and then everybody else can kind of extrapolate from there, basically. Unless you want me to start like looking, like putting in GMT or something, so you can be like that, you know, GMT or which is Greenwich Mean Time or Universal Standard Time or something, UST or something. I forget. Anyways, if anybody wants me to start doing that, then maybe I'll do that. Okay, so save room data. Let's make sure everything is saved and go in here. And the one thing I will do here is I need to check something really quick. Okay, this is all fine. These T3s are fine. All right, let's go to the, no, that's old rooms. There we go. No, let's go back up here. Layout tool. 3T3. Um, I spelled itinerary there wrong. 14, 15, 16. Virtual flame. Okay, that's good. Okay. All right, so that about covers it. I'm gonna do my little recording that I do at the end of my streams. I'm gonna do it on stream, kind of on purpose, um, just um, just so that when I'm off and done, I'm done. So today is Saturday, December 20th, 2025, and today I got the second section of chapter 3 done. It's actually it's the third title, but it's the second section really. Um, our apprentice is missing. Here, let's save room data. Okay, and so that's pretty much what I got done today. I copied this over. I processed them, and then I pared them down to about 9 pages, and then I added an extra page down here, which doesn't serve much of a purpose, but I kind of wanted it there on purpose to sort of a little buffer between that and the next thing, and that's what I did today. Okay, so thanks everyone for dropping in, watching, listening, whatever strikes your fancy, and I will be back with you on Monday, and we're gonna go to the next thing, and then this time we're now with Hubert, and Hubert's got to go to Wizard University. He's got to sneak in, and Wizard University is kind of interesting because I have kind of a big chunk, so that's going to be really hard to compress down because there's several moving parts in that. There's the trophy room, and then there's the machine, and then there's the information he finds out. He finds out who's kind of responsible for a lot of things, or it explains a lot of things. So, and it's fairly involved. So, um, while um, the initial conversion won't be that big of a deal, the big part will be trying to compress it down to 10 to 15 pages, more or less. But anyways, so thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Thank you for watching part 2.